This looks really good.
Yeah, they have a year of history.
Welcome to the Lehigh Valley video. Wow, in Northampton County, Lehigh Health Recreation. This is a little slide for
Lehigh Valley Lifestyle Medicine Symposium. With my wonderful co-founder, Eric Ruth, that is called Callan Foundation. So, whoops, see, this is happening already. Okay, so my good friends and colleagues, Dr. David Katz, who always says, lifestyle may be the medicine, but cultures make a big difference too. So that goes to our social connections, relationships. Do we make time for them? Do we prioritize them? So we're going to talk about all those. That's a problem, but it'd be great if we could all learn that it's not my DNA, it's my dinner. You know, and it's not my lineage, it's my lunch. You don't get your question answered, we'll be around for lunchtime.
And I was going to have kids.
I love that.
Too much better. Awesome. And as she said, one of my major passions is teaching. The program director for our family medicine residency at the Anderson campus up here to hurt myself in. All right, so resistance training across the continuum of age. What should we be doing? So what should I be telling my kids? If you can't start to plateau. So you can see how those guidelines were built around the steepest slope when you're facing an illness or facing a chronic disease with a more full or less full reserve fuel.
Patients, because so many people
Will be defined. The next thing I'm going to do is ask you a different mark for the pre. Here we go. So the first term, the definition of thoughts is. See half a hand? Yes.
Fabulous. And I'm really, really excited. Thank you.
Unconsciously, how we can improve our health across the board with one college of lifestyle. It's helpful to think on one strand of the web you're going to feel was associated with a higher risk of adverse health outcomes, including 53%.
Come around again, but that is a great opportunity to get 5 going to be talking with us all about. So let me just tell you a little bit about Charles. Don't come back over here, Charles. I've done this for years. Like, we've been battle buddies, because I think his skills
One thing I'll say is that optimism is a key ingredient in motivation. This is where I think a lot of if we think about barriers, what can stop us, and extrinsic motivation and intrinsic challenges to extrinsic motivation. So that you thrive when you're in community, and that it's easier for you to be physically active. What I would say when I'm working with clients is say, okay, from a behavior perspective to change. All right, and I'm going to.
Amanda Pietrobono. I'm the Director of Operations in Culinary Medicine here at Callan Foundation.
It's salad and then the...
That's good. I'll continue again.
What's the difference in the nutrient content if you grow something this way?
And agriculture, you ought to know something about how food is grown, is over a 5-year period systems. And we're also either have tolerance, and this is to dry them down so they're easier to do.
On stage, come on over, Dr. Melissa Sunderman. Certified in lifestyle medicine, but she often goes by the name Dr. Outdoors in the program. I'm going to pass it off. So thank you.
Thanks, Megan.
All right, I am so happy to be here. This is an incredible conference so far. Here we are in the forest. 1 week out, how long do we need to be out there? Now, as Dr. Outdoors, I would love to spend every waking moment outdoors, but I potentially could. And they follow them. And then focus on 3 things you can hear. Right? Sterilizing power. So phytoncide. So phyton restoration theory. And this is another study that.
Test coming up, medical students. My partners in crime on the American board.
Hello everyone. Policies to promote separation of parents. Finances and opportunities and the school hurdles that people have to overcome. And we need to think about those in the healthcare system and epigenetics. So it may not be environment around them, the political environment around them. Unequal healthcare treatment, your biased policing will reduce or block oxidative stress. I said, what is the predictable and almost certain future of poorly behaving black kids in America? And her eyes, because she's thinking about this the right now, and she's thinking about today. She hadn't thought about what's this going to happen for the future of her kids if we continue on this path. So I said, let's do everything we can to try and prevent that by giving them the right foods, the right environment, etc. I understood what happened to her. So advanced childhood experiences, service models, very difficult for us. But if you go back and eat what your culture did, so what were they eating in rural Nigeria? What were they eating in rural Jamaica? Eat that. And I tell all my families, man, do not eat the American diet. If you're from another country, just go back to your diet and don't eat our diet. Man, it's so old. As you look at people, you can't look at them at where they are. You got to think about where they've come from.
One question, but I just want to say before that, I'm just so honored that you came to be able to talk and share your story with us. I mean, thank you for being a light and helping all the rest of us try to kind of wrap our brains around this.
My wife, who is, has heart failure, has gained 3 pounds over the last 3 days, and she has increased swelling in her legs, and when can we see? They said, come right in, right? There is a discrimination. People think that your life is, over, or they don't take into consideration. That's a good point.
And I know a lot of us are healthcare providers, and for Beverly, now it's closer to 70 to sleeping issues, especially in young adults. Risk for sleep deprivation are use of caffeine, and people who are sleep deprived tend to have weight issues, and we'll talk about that a little more later. And dream sleep, which is your deeper stages of sleep, those tend to decrease with alcohol. So you may be sleeping, but you're not getting the restful sleep.
Yeah, so and his bio is, and he actually, as an independent practitioner, has been able to do a whole lot of things, as I'm sure you're going to talk about also. Has been awarded the president.
Let's do something about it. And now, and every day you come to work, or in my work, I come to play. I love to play. Number one, patient has intolerance to statins. Number 2, blah, 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 blah. Number 3, 4, 5. Something good, something that happens in one's life. How many of you have ever had something that you thought was the most horrific thing that ever happened to you, and then sometime later found out, hey, this actually was a good thing?
This is a story of these wonderful young people.
Not quite yet, hold on. Okay, let's get back. Okay, this is a story of these wonderful people, and they wanted to go and show the world just what lifestyle medicine is all about. So as I tell the story, I want you to be thinking, as I give you very descriptive terms, I want you to be thinking of just make it as bizarre and wild as you possibly can. We part the clouds to show the world our heart. Touch your